Good evening, everybody. I'm a little bored, but I figured I'd put the milestone we hit in the chat in the thing. So yeah, I guess that helps. What's up, little country EAS? How are you doing tonight? What's up, Rob? Yeah, I'm doing not good. So, yeah, basically, uh, nothing much today. I went and ate at a fish camp for dinner. Fish camps in Gaston County slap, by the way. My family from Florida always says the fish out here is way better than the fish down at their house in their area. So, yeah, it's been a. Tomorrow I'm going swimming with the church, so that's cool. You never been to a fish restaurant? Rob, I suggest you go to somewhere like Riverside or. Hey, Riverside might be your best bet. Riverside's amazing. I used to love Long Creek, too. Long Creek's takeout only, though. So, I've never been to Captain D's. Your family in North Carolina lives in Robeson County? That's cool. I go out to Robeson County every now and then. It's about two to 2.5 hours from where I'm at. We do have some good Mexican restaurants in the area. I go to Mexican restaurants quite a little bit too. I also go to Italian restaurants a lot. And barbecue, because, well, if you live in North Carolina, it's pretty hard to avoid a barbecue restaurant. If you've probably been to a pizza restaurant, but you most likely have. Southern food, yeah. I always love getting sweet tea. CC's is all right. I'm not a big fan. My favorite thing about CC's is the desserts. But yeah. I'm more Domino's, but I used to be more Pizza Hut, but I don't like Pizza Hut much anymore. They're too expensive for like the quality. Little Caesars, yeah. I am outside. That's not the interstates. But I live off of a main road, or I don't live. My grandparents live off of a main road, so of course I'm not gonna say exactly which road it is, but it is a busy one. I'd love 70 degrees compared to what we're getting next week. Fair point. Sup, Wake? You live in South Georgia, so you're used to humidity. Yeah, South Georgia is 1,000% humid. Especially inland. I stayed in St. Simon's Island, though. It was very humid. St. Simon's, I love it there. The Golden Isles are underrated. St. Simon's and Jekyll Island are two of my favorite beaches. I've never been to... I've been to Savannah itself, but never been to Tybee Island. I heard Tybee Island's the most popular one, though. Yeah, humidity is quite horrible out here sometimes, too. And the Raleigh area is closer to the coast, so you probably get more moisture. I last went through Savannah. Oh, Noonan is about, like, I don't know, it's an exurb of Atlanta. I've been to Noonan a couple times. I never stayed there, but I've stopped there. I mainly stop in Auburn, though, because they have the Buc-ee's there. My grandma stops on the way to my grandparents' in Florida on the way there and on the way back. And Noonan's on the way there, so. Yeah, Walking Dead was filmed in Georgia. A lot of TV shows and movies were filmed in Georgia because, Georgia is a big time film. Atlanta is the produces the most movies outside LA or New York. It's because of taxes and stuff. Fair Play's right on the border. I've stopped at the Loves there a couple times. I even got a band scan at the Loves in Fair Play. No, and I remember I was in St. Petersburg, and I heard a bunch of they talking about how Georgia doesn't have any beaches. And I said in my head, I was like, they actually do. It's a small coastline. Georgia has a much smaller coastline than most of the other southeastern states, but Camden, you have Tybee Island, St. Simon's, which I stayed at. St. Simon's and Jekyll, and especially St. Simon's is amazing. And guess what? Somebody from speaking of Savannah, somebody got summoned. Yeah, especially Alabama. Panhandle's way. Tallahassee, which is the Florida capital, could feel more Georgia than Florida. Especially because Tallahassee's hilly, which is very weird. You got a J-pole antenna. I've never stayed at Hilton Head Island, but I've been in the area. You went to Florida during your time there too. You've been to Florida. I basically have lived in Florida for the early part of the summer because I went to the Panhandle, came back to town for I think a week and a half, 2 weeks, and then went back to Tampa. And my first day home was when when I found out GSP got back to toning flood warnings. I've never stated I love Charleston. Charleston is. I have family in the Panhandle. One of those family members is basically a co-owner of the channel. Or I own the thing. Like, I post the videos, but he's a huge help. Anyone who's watched my channel for long enough knows. Majority of my family lives in North Carolina, but I have a few family members spread across the U.S., so. I might have a couple in Europe, but I don't know them. I don't know, though. You can get alerts from McCormick. Well, apparently, I don't know if this is fully yet, but I heard a SPS on WXJ21 that only had Georgia counties in it. I thought if it was an SPS on WXJ21, it'd probably have to have Anderson or Oconee or Abbeville. But no, it was just Elbert, Franklin, and Hart. I was so confused. I was like, did WXJ21 add Elbert or Hart County? I mean, they probably should, because WXJ21, you can get it almost perfectly from Northeast Georgia. I've always wondered why they don't serve it. WXJ21 serves Hart. Okay, then time to add Hart to my coverage area. Though if it serves Hart, it might as well serve Stevens and Elbert and probably Franklin. Maybe Rabin? I don't know. WXJ20... No. KHC27 does serve Gaston now, but it took them so long to add Gaston to their thing. Their map has been outdated for a while. Yeah. WXJ21 should also serve Henderson. Yeah, WXL70 not serving Link. No, the weird thing, why does WXL70 not serve Lancaster and Chester, but instead serves Richmond and Montgomery? You cannot get WXL70 worth a crap in Richmond County, mostly. I don't know. I don't really complain too much about them WXL70 serving Richmond, though, because that means I can get alerts out east. But I've always thought it was weird that they serve Richmond and Montgomery, but not Lancaster. Lancaster literally is on the border with Mecklenburg. So it really confuses me. Now, thankfully, I'd say WXL70, I don't know. The only county not listed under Piedmont, North Carolina, The only county that's listed under Piedmont, North Carolina that's not served by WXL70. No, I'd argue Stanley's still good for WXL70. Maybe Anson. Not Richmond. Not Montgomery. You can still get WXL70 decently in Stanley County, so I think Stanley County's still fair. WNG 706 serves more, though, I think. Yeah, WNG 706 serves more. They don't serve Stanley, they serve more. It's not uncommon that I do get SVRs from the Triangle, though, because Raleigh loves large SVRs. Are you sure? Oh, I always thought they did. Yeah, I just checked the transmitter map. They don't. Oh, I thought they did. I know WXL58 serves more. I know WXL50 serves more. Find it crazy. The only transmitter that serves Fayetteville is Wilmington, is an ILM. Even though... And Sampson County is covered by 2 transmitters, but neither of them are Raleigh. I don't know. I think WNG 706 probably could serve Cumberland. But WNG 706 serves Harnett and Lee, which both border Moore. So Moore County is not too shocking. Stanley County, it could be pretty expensive, though, I'd say. Honestly, Xylan, I can't open your transmitter map from here. Because if I open the YouTube app, it takes me back here, so. No. But yeah, WNG 706. Did WNG 706 start serving MHX counties at all? Or, yeah, I have a feeling they probably serve Lenore. Hold on, let me go into that link. No, they don't. Yeah, no, they don't. Honestly, I was so confused once whenever I checked, like, when Josh was getting, there was the WNG 706 stream, and Josh was getting MHX alerts, and I was so confused. WNG 706 was my last Raleigh station to get, by the way. I confirmed. I got every Raleigh station now. Wake, are there any Raleigh stations you haven't gotten yet? He's never confirmed one GSP station. I've never confirmed a CTP station, though, so I guess it sort of works out. I'll be going back up to DC next year, though, so I'll probably I might just get LWX mapped out then. If I somehow get KZZ28. Which, I can't. If I could, I'd probably summon the KZZ28 man right now. Have you gotten WWF60? Wake. Have you gotten WXL70's GSP? They serve Raleigh counties, but they're GSP. There's two GSP transmitters that serve Raleigh counties, WXL70 and KJY85. I've gotten every GSP, every Raleigh, every Columbia, and not every R&K station yet. I think I have like 2 more. Here, by the way, I know you mentioned something about CHS being like perfectly aligned with the Altamaha River. Well, I gotta point it out. It ain't perfect because FFC, for God knows why, serves Tombs. FFC should not serve Tombs at all. I don't know why they do. I never got WXM88. I never got. So basically, yeah. Yeah, if they you would have that perfect alignment. Yeah, you could have that perfect alignment of the Altamaha River, except for but they decide not to have Tombs. That's FFC instead, for whatever reason. FFC just takes up their entire radar, almost. Besides a few counties in the south. That's why Jacksonville's area extends further west in Georgia. Hazelhurst is further west than any part of southeast. Yeah, but admittedly, should they really serve? Should some of those counties? I don't even know if they. I don't. But as I said, yeah, Georgia's just weird like that. They have. Emmanuel could be CHS too, but well, I don't know how that works. Yeah. Well, WWH25 should be a no-brainer because Metter is right on the border. KXI28 is another one that is expected. But WAWH25 is probably the main, or maybe KXI28. It probably depends on what part of the county you're in. I've gotten both from my house. Actually, all 3 from my house. I've only gotten WWH25 once from here, though. I've gotten KXI28 and WXK54 several times, especially WXK54, which basically becomes a main in the middle of the summer. I think if I had to, if I guess if the J Potato works for you where you can get WXK54 perfectly, I'm guessing it will get me to get WWF60 or WXL42. Oh yeah, WSK54. WSK54, you can probably pick it up but barely in like Greenwood County. But WXJ 21. Oh yeah, because it is in Rennes. It's in an FFC county, despite being a CAE transmitter. So. I've gotten WSK 5400s of times, probably. That probably wouldn't even be an exaggeration. Yep. KHC 28 realistically could be a GSP. Sometimes you wonder why it's Columbia or C. Sometimes you wonder why it's CAE, because it serves several GSP counties too. KHC 29 is you find it surprising. I get KHC 29 here way more than WXL 58. Find it surprising if Wake's still here. I've only gotten WXL 58 once from my house, and I've never gotten WNG 706. I had to get WNG 706 in Myrtle Beach. Yeah, I couldn't get to the Raleigh area fast enough, so I guess the DX works. I've only gotten WXL 58 from here once, and that was all the way back in 2024. I get KH835 sometimes when KJY85 is on air. Because KJY85 loves to be sort of staticky at my house. Or here I'm closer to KJY85, but it's still like... Well, speaking of coverage areas from earlier, why doesn't KJY85 serve Yadkin? Or Wilkes? Or Forsyth? Yeah, KJY85's coverage area. GSP does not know how to write coverage maps. I really don't know a GSP transmitter that serves up to its full potential besides maybe WWH-24 Toccoa, which probably could serve Anderson County now that I think about it. But I mean, it's probably not the... I don't know. I don't know any GSP transmitter that really has a fully correct coverage area. Yes, they were microwave mode for almost a year. Could I get it if it was in Clinton? If it was strong enough, I might just be able to pick it up if it was in Clinton. But it has to be strong enough. There's one period where WXJ20 was really quiet. And it'd probably be another transmitter to serve Spartanburg, Greenville, and Anderson. Why does KPS 506 exist? They do serve more than Wilkes County now, but I don't get why it's just listed as Wilkes County. And it's also just a simulcast of WXK 56, which serves, I think, almost, if not every county that already serves almost, if not every county that KPS 506 does. To serve McCormick, probably. And they didn't even serve McCormick until, like, they updated it. Or McDuffie. I don't remember them, or now I think about it, I don't remember them ever serving McCormick. I mean, they probably could, but they didn't even serve McDuffie for a while. So my question is, what was the purpose of it until you upgraded it? I don't know, but I've gotten it. Yep, I got KPS 506 once. That was also the first time I ever got WXJ28 for my house, which I've gotten twice now. I really want to get a Florida station here. I've gotten Wisconsin and Minnesota for NWR. But I've never gotten Florida. I've never gotten Alabama. And you'd be surprised, I just got Tennessee here 2 weeks ago. Yeah, somehow I was in the middle of my grandparents' yard. There was not even really a tropo. And just out of nowhere, I heard WXK47 just come in. And I'm like, where that? And I thought I was confused because I'm like, this station doesn't sound like WXK21. Nope, it was WXK47, and that was my first ever Tennessee station. We are all combining to edit NWR alerting areas and make new ones. GSP stations need them. They do not know how to make coverage maps. I'd argue... Yeah, oh yeah, I agree with you 100%. I was up at Linville Falls and could not pick up WXL 56. I was a little bit further down in Burke, I think, and I was getting WXL 42 much stronger. KGY 85 could serve Burke and Caldwell. That's another 2 counties that they could possibly give to KGY 85. You can probably get WXL 59, maybe WNG 586 from your house. Hazelhurst, that is I'd say, I mean, I may sort of think of it, though. It's weird because there's not many... Yeah. You wonder how whether they have the same WFO has a transmitter that serves Hall County and also has a transmitter that serves Richmond. And yes, there have absolutely been watches from Hall to Richmond. So basically, they serve everything from the northern suburbs. If you go by their transmitter thing, they serve everyone from the northern suburbs of Atlanta. Oh, and by the way, there could absolutely be a GSP station to serve Jackson County. I mean, that would make Raleigh's severe thunderstorm warnings look a little off, though, because Davie County has Yadkin to the north, which is R&K. They have Rowan to the south, which is GSP, and then Iredell to the west, which is also GSP. So that would make the SVRs look really weird if Davie was Raleigh. So Davie, I don't think Davie should be GSP. I mean, I don't think they're not really Northwestern though, so I don't really know. Davie's a weird one. Davie's a strange one. Oh yeah, Davie also served. I think they bordered Davidson too. So there's that. Yeah, they bordered Davidson. But yeah, that would look weird. It would look a little weird on the SVR side if you had Davie. I agree. MRX serving those two North Carolina counties is weird on its own. Is pretty weird. They probably could, because think of it this way: Cherokee and Clay are not served by any MRX transmitters, but they're both served by a GSP transmitter, being WWG82, which, by the way, is another station whose coverage area is it's weird. It's another station whose coverage map is definitely. I mean, WWG82. I do think all the counties served by WWG82 are good placements for it, but I do think they could definitely serve more Tennessee counties. They could serve almost the entire Knoxville metro, because you can get it up in Anderson County, from what I remember. And Anderson County is pretty far up there. And not only that, Joanna Bald is right next to the Tennessee border, yet they don't. Yeah. Davidson and Davie counties it's so weird that they both border. Davie County's a lot smaller, though. But yeah, Davie is Davidson in half, pretty much. But instead, west. By the way, I also got Rowan County extends much further east than I thought it did. Chatham County. Chatham County, North Carolina. Like, I gotta admit, like, they're also both served by. Yeah, I think they should be. Yeah, Mecklenburg could be R and K, but no, I think they're fine as AKQ counties. I think Raleigh's coverage area is pretty good on itself. On its own. What's up, Braven and Ricky? How are y'all doing tonight? I'm doing good. But yeah, I think Raleigh's coverage area is pretty good as it is. Even though I do admit it is a little weird. Even though, I gotta say, it is a little weird for Stanley County, because much of its north and southern border are both, like, GSP. Yet Stanley's an odd one out with Raleigh. But Stanley also borders Anson and Davidson, so. And that would also look weird if it was GSP. So Stanley's one of those that it can't really decide. So I guess Raleigh was their best fitting. NWS Charlotte, yeah. That's why Charlotte still has a radar. Asheville also was their own weather service. Yeah, they cover. That's exactly how many they cover. They cover 2 counties, Cherokee and Clay. Yeah, they should. I actually think they. I think they should be GSP. But yeah, time to add. If Hart County really is now served by WXJ21, it's probably time for me to add Hart to the coverage map for the local area. Hart was one of those counties that I commonly got, but I never knew I was in direct coverage. I do have one Tennessee county in my coverage, and that is Johnson County, Tennessee. And that's because I can get either when I'm at my grandparents, I can get WNG. I can get WNG 588. Yeah, I was wondering if they what about the special weather statement? What about Hart County? Because yeah, again, I heard it. I can get WNG 588 from my grandparents. I can't really get it from my house. I don't know. It's a little weird. WNG 588 is, but that but because I can also get one radio station I can for sure get in almost perfect quality from my house is WKBC North Wilkesboro, which relays alerts off of WNG 588. So because of that, they serve Johnson County, Tennessee, and Washington County, Virginia. So I can get those. So I have one Tennessee. I have a couple Virginia counties because I also WXL 42, which, as I said, I can pick up from my grandparents' house. My house is way more iffy. Yeah. The only station you can get in good quality is WXK 81. Yeah, there's some places where NWR reception is genuinely sucks almost every way except for one station. Heck, when I'm down at one place I think they really need a weather radio transmitter, Okaloosa County, Florida. Because when you are down in Destin, Fort Walton, it's really KEC 86 sometimes just goes to complete static, and that's the only station that you can consistently pick up from there. I mean, it depends. KC 86 comes in perfectly at my grandparents down there, but that's just what I'm saying. I think Okaloosa County could have its own transmitter. Have you DX'd any new FM stations? Well, I do have a better FM radio, but not so far. Unfortunately, the DXing channel has sort of been on has been really inactive the past month because there was just nothing new for FM. And you know, I most of the time I'm keeping NWRDXing on this channel. I might occasionally post like NWR E-Skip on there, as well as confirming the station here. But like, you get it. FMDXing, it really depends on distance too. NWR is it. Will WXM 65 activate? Good luck on that one. I'm guessing the E-Skip one was the one from Mexico. Imagine if CHS just issued a random SCR for Tatnall. Maybe. It is that time of year. WWH25 plus WXA28 time. For me, it was an NWR E-Skip. And my furthest is KIG64 Duluth, Minnesota. From my house, from my grandparents here in North Carolina. At 976 miles. 976 miles is my furthest. I also have one that's really close, WNG676 Clearwater, Minnesota. That one was 973 miles, so it's just 3 miles off. That completely shattered my E-Skip records. Or completely shattered my weather radio records, especially on video. Don't you know about like every WFO? Most of them, yeah. I know every city that has a WFO. I know Canada, they did, but they, for whatever reason, got rid of it. They used to, yeah. Sup, Youngstown? How you doing tonight? But yeah, what is? Yeah, yeah, you had a couple of SVRs, and that's nice. Severe weather season has been complete buns here in the Carolinas. The province of Alberta is genuinely just an oversized Iredale. I don't know. I don't know. Iredale borders too many counties. They border like Iredale borders a bunch of counties. That's what I know from North Carolina. Find it crazy. Iredale borders 2 counties. It's home to KJY85 yet. 2 of the counties it borders isn't two of the counties that Iredale County borders aren't even served by KJY85. And yet they don't border Gaston, but they serve Gaston, which they should serve Gaston. You can get it pretty good quality here for the most part. I'm not against that, I'm just saying. KJY, again, another reason why GSP is not good at transmitter maps at all. Yeah. WXL42 is, I think, ran by Raleigh because it's the only transmitter that directly serves the Triad, but yet they only serve 5 Raleigh counties, and they serve way more R&K. They serve 5, yeah, they serve, I think, only 5. They serve Alamance, Forsyth, Guilford, Davidson, and Randolph. I think that's it. I don't think they serve any other Raleigh counties. Yeah, let me read. Yeah, it's weird. WXL42 is a strange one to me. Strange case, but it is. But think of it. Forsyth and Guilford are both. It might get like the WXL50 treatment, where WXL50 is an ILM transmitter, but it's the only one that serves. What was it? Yeah, it's the only one that serves Fayetteville. But yeah, it's Wilmington. So yours is KVRP 97.1 Haskell. I have yet to get FM E-skip. Down on my luck, I know. Because, of course, when the FM E-skips had to start occurring when I left my ER10 in Florida. And that was my only... And I couldn't find my G-Storm anywhere. So, I had basically no luck on the FM there. Again, though, my furthest NWR is still crazy to me. 976 miles. Do I have an HDR 14 or a CL 100? I want an HDR 14 because I heard it's amazing for E-skips. But I'm planning. I might order one. You're in Delmarva. The Tropo has been intense so far. I might need to check out the Tropo myself and see if it's gonna come down here at all. Because we haven't had many good Tropos in like the last month. But we had some really good Tropos in May though. The best one, my best Tropo catch this year was KIG 77 when I was up in the mountains. Of course, there's no way I'm getting KIG 77 here. It's on the same frequency as the beautiful WXL 70. Severe weather only comes when Charlotte EAS 704 comes. Oh yeah, 100%. That's when our best Tropos always are, is the heat waves. In fact, I think we had a heat wave around 4th of July last year, which got the E-skip. I really hope I do have luck with NWR E-skip this year, but chances are pretty low. And I think the chances are near zero that it's going to be as good, but 300 to 600 miles. Yeah. My furthest Tropo catch is 368 miles, I think. Yeah, it's 368 miles, or 379 miles. KIH 63 Orlando from Myrtle Beach. That's my furthest Tropo. My furthest E-skip, though, is like 3 times as long. But that's, or maybe, like, yeah. By the way, technically a portion of WXL 70s. Oh, yeah, because Richmond borders Marlboro. Richmond borders Marlboro. In fact, it's not uncommon that you'll get, like, you'll hear cities, ILM cities mentioned in, like, locations or, like, locations with the storm on WXL 70. Heck, if my dad still lived over in Union County, I could get WXA 22 there without Tropo. So basically, if you lived in the eastern half of the Charlotte Metro, like over further east in like Union County, you could get ILM. But the thing is, you'd probably have to sacrifice WXA 21 or something, so you probably couldn't get alerts for Georgia. Though I don't know. I don't really. I don't know, really, which one I'd prefer. Maybe WHA21, because ILM gives SPS diseases. Plus, I can still get WHA22 here a lot during Trepo, so. Speaking of which, you might see a little bit of lag for a second, but I am going to go check my Trepo and see if it's worth a crap here yet. BRB. Not worth a crap right now, or not the worst. It's like a very light orange, so it's nothing special. We got Tropo. It's like light orange, so maybe I can pick up like WWF 60 better. It's probably nothing big though. Usually I don't get good crap until it's red. I never get good crap till it's red. Even though, actually, now I think about it, I've gotten KHB 32 in an orange before. Or not KHB 32. KHB 31. If it was KHB 32 in an orange, I would genuinely be shocked. Because KHB 32 is like 400, 500 miles away. Which, by the way, I just got back from Tampa. And, unfortunately, there was no big time Tropo, but I did map out both Tampa Bay and Jacksonville in the same day. Because on my way down there, I got KAB 97. So, I guess it all works out. Tropo. What I'll see if we do have a good Tropo tomorrow. I gotta wake up early in the morning because we're going on a church trip to go swimming in the morning. So I'll try to wake up a little bit earlier than my grandma sets me to wake up. So I might wake up at like 7 instead of 7:30 if the Tropo's good, and I might just go and see what I can get. But I don't think it's going to be worth it. I don't know. It might be in the morning. Usually the good Tropos don't kick into like 3 or 4 in the morning anyway. We'll see. If it's good, though, I'll go outside and see what I can get. And again, I know we're going to probably have we're probably going to have the best Tropos of the year yet come the heat wave. What's going on, South Central Kansas WX? How are you doing tonight? Great. It's good to hear. But, yeah. 9:46. I'll be on here for probably about maybe 30 more minutes. I don't know. Crickets out here. Welcome to summer, guys. And they ain't as loud as they were when I did my... True southern land. Yeah. It's one of the things I've liked about living in the South. Yeah. We're just chilling tonight, really. There's an airplane flying right above the house. They seem to be heading north, so they probably just got out of Charlotte Douglas. Yeah, I haven't went on a plane yet, but that's bound to change probably next year because I might be going to France. So, and obviously you have to fly there unless you can somehow drive on water. There ain't no way we finding how to do that. You've been on the plane a few times. You don't enjoy it. That's just you. It's just loud. Yeah, we were gonna fly to St. Pete's. My parents were so dead set on it, but we couldn't find a good deal to fly. So, yeah. It's not crazy. I've already been home for 5 days. Summer's just getting the season's just getting started. My summer break's a little less than halfway done right now. The moon. For Hazelhurst, you have Jeff Davis, Coffee, Bacon, Appling, Montgomery, Toombs, Wheeler, and Tailfair. One thing I've always loved about Georgia, Coffee and Bacon County both border each other. I've always loved that about Georgia, is that Coffee and Bacon County are both on the border. Yeah, but as I said, Coffee and Bacon. Somebody needs to go to the Bacon Coffee County border and cook some breakfast. Just ooh, face reveal. Okay. Well. Grass, guys. Grass. See? It wouldn't be the first time, but yeah. Look, I'm touching grass, guys. Rare sighting. I'm surprised the grass is as green as it is with how dry it's been here. I don't know though about the. I've always found it crazy. You can get KH58 Aniston without Tropo in Atlanta, and it's in pretty good quality too. No, yeah. Not only do you have Chattanooga, you also have Somerville, WXJ72. You have WXJ72 and WXK48. So, yeah, that's probably not the best. Oh yeah, and you have WXK52 Chatworth. And KH58 Aniston. Honestly, Woodstock would be strange for a transmitter, too, because you have so many stations nearby. Dan Gadsden has KH58, which is strong enough. KH58 is quite strong, so Gadsden probably doesn't need their own. Oh yeah, and you have. I think it's Adrian giant hole around Woodstock. Great minds think alike. Sup, evening, Preston. How are you doing tonight? Tired. Oh, and you have to go back to work tomorrow? Huh. It would look nice around Woodstock, yeah. Really, where I think there should be a transmitter is somewhere in Okaloosa County, Florida. Get a few days off every week. At least there's that. You would have Montgomery, Trutland, Emmanuel, Johnson, and Lawrence counties for Adrian. Crestview would... Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think Crestview. Or... I mean, listen, Northern and... Honestly, Okaloosa County doesn't have utterly horrible NWR service. You get KEC 86 really good in, like, the northern half of the county and stuff. And then northern and western halves. But it's like in the eastern half. KC 86 is very hit or miss. Laurel Hill would probably be better. And the frequency, I already know the frequency. It could probably take over too, being channel 6. because there's no Channel 6 station forever from there. Actually, no, there's KZZ 70, Blakely, Georgia. But, I mean, it is KZZ, but, you know, but that's good. Florala. But again, as I said, Okaloosa County, it's like depends on where you are in the county. But like southern Okaloosa, KEC 86 has a lot of static still. So that's why I think like Okaloosa County could have its own. Again, I don't think Okaloosa County, you could definitely have worse, but like still. Florala is right on the border, explaining its name. I am outside. Let's touch grass again. Why not? Look, see, I'm touching grass. That's so dubs. I've been live outside tons of times. So it's another day in paradise. Yeah. Maybe if you get strong enough, you can also get it to surf Santa Rosa. But actually take that. Santa Rosa has better because it has KC 86 in the county. So you basically can get KC 86 perfectly no matter where you are in Santa Rosa County. But it's like Destin, Fort Walton, especially Destin, KC 86's reception is very iffy. I mean, you can get it good in some, but like it is pretty static. And for that to be your main is crazy. Well, chat. Well, guys, I've enjoyed. We had a good amount of people come on this stream tonight. It's cool. I like it was. Not even weatherradio.net can salvage a WXM88 cycle. It sucks I never got it. I probably would have gotten in it by now, but that didn't happen. But again, as I said, I do think I am one of, if not the first person to record a WWH-39 broadcast cycle in the BMH era. Now, I know there's been a few since then, but like I did it back in 2023, and most of the videos I saw were, I think I only saw like one other, and that was in 2024. Mine was in 2023, so I might have been the first of the BMH era. But I unfortunately missed our RWT. And nobody's gotten WWH-39's RWT. Man, I wish I can go back to St. Simon's and get that. But as I said, I did get WXM65 Baxley. So I've confirmed every single Jacksonville station, including the one that went on. There is more, yeah. There's two more that I know of. There's mine and Jenny AS. Both of the other one, the Jen, is also from the Charlotte area. So that would mean all three people who recorded WWH-39's broadcast cycle, bet you didn't catch WWG-30 Live Oak in 2003. Well, I don't know any EAS creators besides like OGs who were alive in 2003, so that's 6 years older than me. So there's no way I could have got that. If it existed in the 2020s, maybe, but no, obviously not. KB97 still exists though. So there's that.
You are listening to the voice of the National Weather Service, transmitting from the Swanee County Emergency Services antenna 24 hours a day on a frequency of 162.45 megahertz. Broadcasts originate from the National Weather Service office in Jacksonville, Florida.
Back then they said Jacksonville, Florida. On the actual Jacksonville. Back then they said Jacksonville, Florida in the Florida. Because here's one thing different. There's two things. There's one main thing that's different between the Jacksonville, Florida and Jacksonville, Georgia stations. If you're in Georgia, if you get a Georgia station like WHA-28, WWH-39, or WXK-75, or back in the day, WXM-65, you're going to hear broadcast originating from the National Weather Service office in Jacksonville, Florida. But if you hear it on a Florida station, they just say Jacksonville. I do think part of the reason, especially for maybe like WXM-65 back in the day, was because, or WXM-65 mainly, was because Telfair County also has a town. It's really small, but it also has I think they have like a really small town or unincorporated area or whatever called Jacksonville. They have Jacksonville, Georgia, which is about 2 hours from Jacksonville, Florida. So maybe that could be the mix-up. I don't know. Though I do think they could just basically. Yep, Jacksonville's incorporated, yeah. Yep, KXI 77, which I have yet to get on camera. Hopefully I can. Jacksonville literally issued just only plant hatch. Are they trying to tell us Baxley's coming back? Dude, if WXM65 comes back, y'all are going to freak. I know the Southeast Georgia guys are going to absolutely freak out. It's Jacksonville time. Nah, no, Xylon. I remember you posted that picture on your community post of ILM's IEM bot, and there's like 50 different SPSs for 50-mile-per-hour winds, but there's no SVRs, and that is such an ILM thing to do. Dude, if WXM65 actually comes back, hey, if it doesn't, I didn't get a broadcast cycle. I just confirmed it. That's the only, as of right now, that's the only decommissioned transmitter that I've gotten ever. Though I did get the newbie station known as KE42 in 2024. Wait, it went off the air in 2024? I thought it was older. I thought it was longer ago that they went off the air. Dang, I really could have got it. Well, that sucks. I don't know, I guess I'll look through my St. Simon's Island. Never mind. I'm just picking. Because I already know that WSM88 was on the same frequency as WWH39. Yeah. That's it. You're becoming a weather radio tech. But yeah, guys. This has been a fun stream. We had quite a bit of people pop in today. It's cool. Hope to do more streams like this soon. Maybe do one in July. Might do one the end of the week. I don't know. Maybe Sunday. But I'm not going to do these too much because I know y'all definitely going to get bored of them, as I do. But I'm going to build an NWR station in every county. Well, good luck. You can build like 15 in San Bernardino County. It probably ain't going to make no difference. But anyways, guys. It's been great chatting with y'all and everything. Again, hope to do more streams like this in the future. We've been going strong. I don't know how long the next stream. It might even be as recently as like next Sunday or maybe even Saturday. Because I'll be home alone Saturday, so I might do a chat stream or something. They serve Habersham, Raven, Hart, Franklin, and Stevens. Alrighty then. I guess that I'll add Georgia counties to my I guess I'll add Georgia counties to the coverage area, and I might also let the other Charlotte area. I might let Jay and Fairway and Char know now, like that. I mean, it probably does. It probably isn't new news to them anyway, because we get alerts for Georgia all the time. Yeah, or Charlotte. Yeah, 704. I don't know, but I'll post a community post or something. So. Anyways, y'all, hope y'all have a great evening. Get some good sleep tonight, and I will talk to y'all sometime either this weekend or next week or maybe 2 weeks from now. I don't know. I'll figure something out. We'll go live sometime soon. Hopefully you can have more stream. But anyways, have a good night, and I'll talk to you later. See ya.